Well, greetings TikTok Nation. I kind of just jumped on now. I know our friend Southern Scrapper is on, and I don't intend on interfering with his live. But I figured let me just pop this up really quick. It's been a horrific week for trying to get anything posted because of all the wonderful construction going on at my house. So the other day, and the guys are not here today, so maybe I'll be able to get a video on. With my luck, I'll get started on it and they will walk. They're waiting on the cabinets to come in. And then I guess the flooring guy was going to start today, but he's under the weather. And I told him I'd really rather he start later than come in and make me sick, because it's the last thing I need right now. You know, nicely, not rude. What I said was I don't have any trouble with you starting another day, really. There's so much garbage out there. Now they're talking about some kind of disgusting fungus among us here in Connecticut. I have no idea what that's all about. I have no intention of finding out, I can tell you that. So, I have some switches here. Not that they're terribly exciting things to watch me scrap, but, you know, you get to a point you get so sick of doing PCs, and I reached that point about 100 PCs ago. I've got a lot of them to do. I've got a lot of them in storage right now, because I know I'm going to be a little bit limited with time and everything the next couple of weeks with the construction starting. I figured to myself, well, let me try to get some of these switches done. Number one, they're easy. And if I have to pack everything away, there's not a million and one tools to pack up, you know. So I can get them done pretty quick. And I will repost the video, guys. It is now 2:39. I'll make sure that I go off by 3:39 and I'll post the video. That way those of you guys who are enjoying our friend Southern Scrapper can also catch my video as well. You know, if you stay under an hour. Hi Dennis, did you get your box? But this way I'll post the video up, and you know, I don't have to worry about stepping on my friend Southern Scrapper. I really don't like going live when other people are on, but unfortunately, right now I just am really up against the time schedule, and so you know, we'll do the live and then post the video, and you know, I hope everybody had a good holiday season. Mine was insanely busy, but actually Christmas Day was busy. And then it got quiet. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. I grabbed the long screwdriver. I need a flathead, and I grabbed the Phillips. I'll be right back. Let's walk over to the box here. I hope I have one. I'm smack in the middle of getting the workshop moved down to the basement so that I'll be able to continue working while the gentlemen are fixing my kitchen, but I'm really, let me know if it's okay, all right? If there's any problem, you let me know, Dennis. So the two things I am trying to do is I'm going to process things that are easier to process, and we'll have a better pay yield. I try to get a box out, at least a box out a day to board sort.
Unknown caller.
And try to get a box out to board sort every day, and I do try to get at least 1 or 2 boxes of e-scrap ready for you guys. Yeah, Dennis, I added some extra stuff in there. I wanted to make sure it was a good box for you. That's why I like sending things priority mail, because I can pack the box and I don't have to worry about the weight, you know. For those of you who don't know, I sell boxes of e-scrap. when I have stuff that's good for gold refining or stuff that I can ship in a priority flat rate box, I try to make it available to my subscribers. Good, Dennis. I'm glad you're happy with it. Like I said, I did add a little bit more to that for you. That's one thing I like to do. If I can find material that fits in a box that is small enough, you know, the material is small enough, I, generally speaking, try to make that available. I've got to figure out how to open up a TikTok shop. That's on my agenda. And you know, but right now my main agenda is surviving construction. So these switches are super easy to scrap out. They vary. Sometimes you'll get a really nice board. Sometimes you'll get like nothing burger. Oh, you're very welcome, Dennis. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. So that's and I try to, like I said, I try to get a couple of boxes up. You'll see them on my profile page when they're here for you. All right. So like I said, it's going to be a kind of tough couple of weeks with getting lives up. I usually go live on Sunday morning, and I just haven't been able to because we just had boxes and all kinds of chaos around here. My contractor, who was really a wonderful human being, I was very lucky to find him. His wife is expecting. Fortunately, he doesn't live far from me, so I've really been able to be super flexible, you know, with him. And he's a nice guy. He really is. And I just hope baby doesn't arrive in the middle of my, doesn't arrive in the middle of my kitchen. I told him the only thing I'm worried about, I have no dishwasher and I have no stove, is when we got flooded, the water went right down. You know, they drilled down to the basement when they hardwire these things. So the water went right down the hole. So what happens? It fried the dishwasher's motor and it fried the sink, fried the stove. So he's going to start with those, and we're going to change the plug out. You guys who've been following me, you know about the Home Depot delivery saga. They came to deliver it and they couldn't install it because it was hardwired. So this has been a test of my patience. I'm going to change my name to Job. But so that's the first thing he's going to fix for me, and then I'll have the dishwasher and stove installed. You know, the rest of it I can live with. Oh, boo hiss, this is not a very good telecom board, but it's okay. This one is a... It's so bad they don't want to put their name on it. Sometimes they're really good, you know. Telecom switches are so hit and miss. Sometimes you get them, they're packed. Cisco makes a really good switch. The HPs, which is what I suspect this is. Oh, you know what? It's probably on the board somewhere. Oh no, it's a Cisco. It's not the fault of the manufacturer. When they make these, what they do is they'll print just the green. They'll print the green circuit board. And guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. I really have no idea how much that helps the channel, especially with me not being on as much as I need to lately. If you like e-scrap, if you like to talk about computers and boards and grading boards and sorting boards and bashing the crap out of e-scrap, which is really fun, you know, I try to teach as I go along. Help you guys learn what to look for. Hopefully help you with some grading. You know, I am your one-stop TikTok shop. It's beautiful out today. It is 50-something degrees. And it has been cold in Connecticut, let me tell you. I think it's been cold most of the country. It's been really cold. John, welcome. Rolanda, welcome. Raymond, welcome. If I missed your name, please forgive me. If you have a question and I don't see it go by, please feel free to message me. I do answer my messages, and I'm always, there's no such thing as a dumb question, believe me. Ask my board buyer. I ask him lots of dumb questions. No. Chris is awesome. I have a couple of board buyers. I have a local fellow who's here in New York. He comes and takes my big shipments and big orders, and he really pays me a very fair price, and I really, he's brand new. This is new this year, and he's only 45 minutes away. I'm just on the other side of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he's in Mamaroneck, New York, which is right over the state line, so it's like 45 minutes. You know, meet halfway, check the load over, and off it goes. But I've had a good relationship with Board Sort for quite a few years. Matter of fact, the Board Sort videos and Shark Scrapper, who's a very big proponent of Board Sort, have really helped me learn how to do this. They really have. Grading boards is just not an exact science. You can get really good at it, and you could still make a mistake. I mean, some boards you just, you make your best guess is what you do. Don't try to cheat your buyer. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Believe me. I will tell you, today's order, Board Sort pays us on Thursdays, and I got a polite, professional letter from Chris saying, "Hi Dee, sorry about invoice, whatever the heck it was, we did downgrade the boards." And I had a feeling he might, and I wasn't really upset about it. By the same token, on the other side of the coin, if you grade them too low, he's going to bump it up for you. He did that with the other box. It's just, sometimes they're just so borderline. So, specifically Cisco switches, they're pretty good about grading these. Now, I would grade this as a telecom low board. It's got lots of thingies on it, chips. It's got a gold banded BGA. There's probably another one under here. I just explained this to the gentleman who I'm trying to working on a sale for. I'm working on a sale. I'm hoping the gentleman will use my services to purchase a large lot of telecom boards. And I told him, don't clean them, because a lot of times people will go to knock off the heatsink and they're going to rip the chip off as well. Every board buyer, including yours truly, will tell you if you have to force the ceramic off, if you have to force the heatsink off, just leave it be. You're going to take the chip off along with it. If you take off the chip, it's going to devalue the board. And that's what happened to me on the last load I sent to Chris. I thought there were these kind of heat sinks. I didn't think I'd have a trouble getting them off, but what I did is pulled off the BGA along with it. So I rightly so, got downgraded. And, they'd rather have you leave this on than pull the chip off. It's a nice board. The reason I would go telecom low on this is, let me grab a high grade telecom board. I'll show you. This is a high grade telecom board. This came out of Hi Dave Donahue, how are you? So this is a high grade telecom board. It's completely covered in chips. A little bit of junk on it, but these are such lightweight little capacitors, I don't think it's going to matter. It doesn't have to have gold fingers on it to be telecom. It's nice if it does. But this is very thickly populated. There's gold in the phone jacks. This was made by Lucent Technology about, 20 years ago? They spun off from Bell. 1999 Lucent. The government made Bell break up. So they broke up into AT&T and a bunch of other stuff. Lucent. And, the government said they were a monopoly and made them split up the company. But you can see the difference. See, and again, this is my opinion. I might get upgrade on this. I don't think I will though, because see, there's a lot of dead space here. And with telecom boards right now paying, I think $10.50 a pound today, you know, the buyer needs it to be full and not depopulated at all. And like I said, when I knocked the heat sinks off the other boards that I sent in last week, it took the chip off with it. Even though I taped it and put it back on, I got downgraded. And you know, I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I would have probably done the same. But you can see the difference. You know, there's no question this is a high-grade telecom board. This is questionable. They're a little more generous with Cisco, because Cisco really loads up the gold in these ports. But I'm going to be nice and safe. I'm going to call it a telecom low-grade board, and I'm happy with that if I get telecom low. That's what I would buy it as. I would buy it as a telecom low-grade board. Okay. Ooh, silly me. I don't have another board ready for you. The power supplies these days, well, again, everything's just so hit or miss right now. I do have a buyer who will buy these at 40 cents a pound. And it's funny because the yard will buy them for like 12 cents a pound. Complete, you know, with all the aluminum and everything on them. Of course, you know what? The yard is never going to pay you top dollar, guys. But they'll buy the boards as low-grade boards at 40 cents a pound. So it really is worth your time to knock the aluminum case off. This doesn't have one, so it doesn't really matter. There's a little bit of copper here you could go after. I was listening to the iScrap app. If you want to check prices and really want to listen to somebody who knows what they're doing, do check out Tom on the iScrap app. He owns Rockaway Recycling in Rockaway, New Jersey. It's a little bit of a haul for me, but I think that's where I'm going to wind up selling my copper. It hit $6 a pound today. My yard is only giving me 4 1/4. I said no. They wouldn't come up, so I didn't sell it. Where do I get my boards at? Well, that comes up every live. You got to do your homework. You have to go around to area businesses that specialize in IT, and not just the computer repair places, because they get inundated, as you can well imagine. A lot of it has just been by luck. I was at the dump one day when I got these, dumping something. I don't remember what it was. This guy pulled in with a dump trailer full of electronics. My hair is a mess. I have dry heat here. That's why I'm covered up. Not because I'm sponsored or anything like that. I just I look a wreck. What else happened? So you know, go to telecom. The telecom equipment is the best freaking stuff you're going to get. And just go around, find places that install telecom. Ask if they need help getting rid of disposing some of this stuff. So I said to him, I said, hey, are you going to toss that out? Because he had computers, he had servers, he had telephones, he had all kinds of stuff. He says, no. He said, you want it? I said, yeah. I said, we can dump it right in my truck. I left with a big pickup truck full of e-scrap, and now he calls me every other week or so. He does a lot of populating himself, and he does have some buyers, and he sells a lot of stuff. But when he gets behind or he can't keep up, he'll give me a call to come do a pickup. All right, let me grab another. I have a lot of. This is just going to be the easiest thing for me to scrap out today. Light iron is at $125 a gross ton, guys, which isn't bad. Highest price I've ever seen is $180 a gross ton, and that was 2 summers ago. I've seen it as low as 40 cents a gross ton in the past year. Let me grab another board from up here. And like I said, he's been really very supportive. He's been very nice, and he likes what I do. And I told him, I said, this is to continue answering, where do you get your scrap from? You got to make friends, And I've told him so many times, and I tell him every time I see him, and he doesn't make me pay for any of it either. I've offered to pay him for the boards. I've seen some beautiful boards. I told him my price last time I was there. He almost fell on the floor. He says, I'm not getting paid anywhere near that. I said, you're getting ripped off. I said, I'm telling you. I got a guy from New York City he's matching boards for me. And then, I've got to charge him an extra $1 or $2, so I actually make some money on it. And he's making money. He's not having any trouble. I charge like a commission. I'm happy, he's happy, everybody's making some money. There's not a big profit margin. Although these guys who are selling this stuff in bulk right now, they're making money. Anybody who has held on to E-scrap, gold E-scrap, the trouble with Bay of E, and I can't say the actual thing because I'll get a restriction, is your commission fees. I can't really give you a straight out answer on that. Batisca KO. My opinion, there's nothing wrong with selling on the Bay of E. There's nothing wrong with selling in a TikTok shop. I frequently just put it on my profile page that I have stuff available. But for me, because of the volume I do, the problem with eBay is commission. Oh, shoot, I said it. You know what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to get restricted. Dadgummit. I'm waiting for it. Oh, boy. So, both are fine. As far as selling boards does pay the best price, guys. They've also, it depends on your knowledge level, I think, is another good way to answer that. If you don't know how to categorize your boards, you're better off selling to board store because they'll help you with that. I can't. The other place that's really good if you really don't know how to sort your boards is one of our subscribers right here on TikTok, sellyourboards.com. You can send Zach the whole box, and he'll sort it for you, and he'll tell you what it's worth. He also pays very well, by the way, very fair, very, very fair. So, the problem is shipping. It's always the problem. And unfortunately, to ship to either Ohio or Arizona from Connecticut is expensive for me, so having a local board buyer was a gift. But like I said, I still got to make sure I send stuff out to those guys. They've both been really good to me, so got to take care of your friends, right? This is a Cisco. Like I said, I'm just really working on switches right now. It's easy. And it's easy to chat when I'm doing these. I don't have to have 1,000,001 tools out here to take apart the switches. Usually. Usually switches are super easy to scrap out. But I'm also right now, I'm looking for things. I'm trying to get a box together to send out to board sort. So I'm really specifically looking at telecom boards. Boo! I got a little bit of RAM. This might be something that was used in their surveillance system. It's got a hard drive. Active status power SSD. ASA550X. So I got a hard drive. That was nice. Got 2 sticks of RAM. I resell the RAM as scrap. I don't resell it as working RAM. And see, this is not what I usually sell to like my local buyers, because the people who are buying this for gold recovery are going to want chips on both sides, so on and so forth. I guess by weight it probably kind of balances itself out. I mean, everybody says the Goldfingers and RAM are the best you can get. That's true, but RAM is almost $50 a pound right now. That's ridiculous. This time last year it was, what, $17.50, something like that? So, but the super chunky stuff I get out of most of my servers, that I tend to resell locally. I think I've got 1 pound of RAM left. I sold most of it the other day, and I was able to easily get $50 a pound for it. So I would have preferred to hold it. I'm glad I held it over the past year though, because I really, we did okay on that. Anybody who's been stacking that stuff has done well. I think usually when I sell something, I try to sell like half and I keep the other half, kind of the same way I play my stock market. You know, if something makes money, a good profit, I'm going to sell half of it in case it goes back down again, and then I'm going to keep the other half in case it goes up again. I do the same thing with my precious metals and my RAM and my high grade materials. That's just me. You know, a lot of people are just holding on to copper for dear life, and it did. A Tom on the Ice Scrap Act. Oh, I know, Dennis, you're not kidding. I mean, I'm charging $55 a pound, and I'm getting it easily. You know, I can't take a loss on it. If I send it to a board sort, I'm going to get that price, so I'm not going to sell it for less, you know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And some of my other videos, guys, Dennis brings up a good point that RAM has really just gone nuts. Goldfinger cards are a fantastic place to get gold fingers and ceramic chips. There are other places besides RAM. So some of my other videos, some of my other videos, I have segments on that. If you see any that say what's in the box or Goldfinger cards for, or anything like that, there would be some good examples on there. I'm going to do a what's in the box over the next couple days. I have a box getting ready to, I'm preparing it for resale. It'll be on my profile page. I take PayPal. And, I try to show you some other places to get gold. And that's part of what I do with this. Like the smaller boards, like this board, I can fit that into a priority mail box. So it might be something I put into one of my gold boxes. Goldie boxes. Treasure chest. That's what we're going to call them. We're going to call them treasure chests. How do you think gamers feel with RAM being, oh yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah, is it DDR5, G-Man? DDR5? Yeah, it's ridiculous. And of course you can't use older RAM because it won't fit into the slots on your gaming computer. Yeah, that's a real screw job for you guys who are gamers. Unbelievable. So real sorry for anybody who's doing gaming computers or gaming computer upgrades on their motherboards and needs newer RAM. $500 for 2 sticks of RAM. Is that accurate? G-Man? I know it's up there. I've got a neighbor. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I know I've got a following. I've got friends. There are a couple of the scrappers in the neighborhood. There's 2 or 3 older guys. I always call them when I get things in like battery backups and things like that. I don't want to bother with that. There is copper in them, and every once in a while I will, but they're extremely heavy. So always get your battery off your boards, guys. They're heavy. So there's this one nice guy. But that's what he did. He's a scrapper. He's been a scrapper for years. And so when I get those, I usually call him. I let him have them. But there's another guy. I think one day I might have been working on the back of my truck in the driveway. It might have been a nice day, and I was taking apart all-in-one Macs. And this guy came by. He said, "What do you do with the screens?" I said, "I bring them to the, e-waste recycling." I bring them over there. He said, well, can I have them? I said, sure. So he rebuilds computers for resale. So I'll call him when I've got some of those ready. The older Mac cases are all aluminum. The newer Mac cases, one of the people I buy computers from on a regular basis, he fixes computers. He's an IT guy, so he helps me out. I try to help him out. You just build your content. You do your thing. You're honest with people. You do the right thing by people, and you will grow a nice scrap business. You really will. Hello, I love Propel. How are you? Do you think you could send me a picture of that? Do you have any 80mm fans that use PMW headers? You may as well put that in Greek. Send me a picture and let me see if I can find any. I'm sure if I don't have them, I'm sure I will. Just send a picture in the messages. I love Propel, and I'll be glad to take a looky-see for you. So, guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. Again, it just really helps the channel out a lot, especially with me being a little bit on the erratic side with getting on lately, because of the construction in the house. All right. So here's another example. This is what I was telling you. I got downgraded because I tried to knock this off, and it pulled the chip off with it. I'm going to leave that. My board buyer is not going to be upset with me. They are going to be upset with me if I pull the chip. You can try and wiggle it off with a pair of channel grid pliers. You can try and hit it with some heat. It's not necessary. I guess that's my point. I mean, even myself as a board buyer, I don't care if somebody leaves it on there. It's microscopic. Doesn't matter. It's not going to make or break me, but I'd rather have that on and get the chip. So this, it came off telecom equipment, so that makes it a telecom board. In this case, though, it would not even rate a low-grade telecom board. I think because I got RAM and a hard drive, I would probably sell this as an integrated motherboard. Integrated motherboards, you can't remove the CPU. And that's where I would put this, because it had spots for RAM. And even though it came out of a server, I would consider this a computer board. And I'm going to sell that in with my integrated motherboards. Tantalum capacitors, these are very good to save for precious metal recovery. Tantalum's gotten very expensive. And again, I'm not going to nip them because that's not nice to my board buyer. But if you're a hobby scrapper and you're just scrapping these, or you want to refine for gold, yeah, definitely things you want to take off. These are gold-banded crystal oscillators. Hi, Scrooge McDuckin, how are you? I have your package all packed finally. I'll probably get it off UPS tomorrow. I'm so slow getting things done because of the construction. So these have some silver in them, and these tantalum capacitors, they pop off like nothing, just like that. I do save those, but again, this particular board, just because it's basically what you call a nothing burger, I'm going to throw in with my integrated motherboards. Again, integrated motherboards don't have a removable CPU. Not too bad though. Tell you, got a couple of pieces of RAM. Even if it is low grade, it's still RAM. And we got ourselves a nice SATA hard drive. Oh, there's another place you can really do good gold recovery is hard drive boards. Excellent gold recovery. Scrooge McDuckin, I love your videos. Guys, if you want to find out about gold refining and having a good time doing it, check out Scrooge McDuckin's channel. He's hilarious. You'll not only get an education, you'll get entertainment. We have a nice, we've got a nice group of us who kind of all do the TikTok thing. We kind of run in the same circle, so we, we support each other's channels and each other's lives, and it's a very nice way to be. SSD slot. So that may be a solid state drive or some such thing. Do you get a lot of SSDs? Not really. Not really. I love Propel. Don't forget though, I break down things that are old. non-working, and the SSDs I think are a little bit newer. I don't see a date on here to give you a more accurate answer. This is a Micron SSD. I'm gonna have to fiddle with that. Never mind. Make a liar out of me right here on TikTok. Yes, indeed. Okay. All right. So that's, yeah, that doesn't even have enough on it to rate low-grade telecom, even with all this gold in here. Nah, that's going to be an integrated motherboard. This is a Micron SSD. See if I can get it apart. And again, see, he left a lot of this stuff outside, so I can't even say that I would... Yeah, that sounds right. I left Propel says around 2012 is when I think the SSDs became widely available. And I would say that's probably close. But yeah, you want to talk about gold recovery, you should do very well with any kind of hard drive or SSD boards. The really old hard drive boards are just sweet for gold recovery. There's going to be a little screw under here that's going to drive me bananas, guaranteed. Let's see if I can get this apart without stabbing myself. But right off the bat, you got gold fingers. Gold fingers. And this should pop apart without too much difficulty. I don't really have the right screwdriver here to do that, but we'll make it work. I moved everything down to the basement because I'm going to have to live down there while those guys are they're doing the construction. Yeah, basically you've got a low-grade board here. They divide hard drive boards into basically high grade and low grade. High grade have 48 pins on them. They have 48 gold connecting pins here. But that's a great board. You're looking for gold recovery? Right there. These are ceramic chips, gold fingers. That is an excellent board for gold recovery. If you can't get RAM, this is quite a bit cheaper. What is Shirley Bassey singing? That RAM is like $300. What, this one? You know, my problem is it got wet. You know, he didn't take very good care of it. I think it's DDR3 though. I don't think it's new. And by the way, that brings up a very, very, very good point. If your computer that you're recycling is clean, do pull the RAM and do look on you know where and see, do a reverse image search and see if it's desirable. There is a lot of RAM that is quite resellable. My problem is this got wet because he left everything stacked outside and it was pouring rain. So anything from that pickup is just is toast. So that's why I wouldn't even this. I probably would have reformatted it and resold it, but it got wet. So it's scrap. She sings the original song for Goldfinger. Oh, I got that now. I love James Bond. Hey Scrooge, who was your favorite James Bond? I'm gonna go grab one more, guys. I've got about 10 minutes before my verification goes. Yeah, see, he left these outside. They all got wet. They were soaked when I went to go pick them up this morning. Of course, the kids, my niece and my two nephews lived with me when they were little. And of course, they wanted to watch Austin Powers and Goldmember. I'm like, no, you're not watching that disgusting crap. Good luck. This is another server. This is a polywall. I don't remember if these were good, bad, or indifferent. Nice gold pins on the back. Yeah, see, this was a good day to do switches. I wish consumer hardware could fit in server chassis without modification. It would be so much cheaper, right? I resell cases. I don't, not so much server cases, but I've got probably 20 or 30 computer cases down the basement. And a lot of people like the thicker, older ones for, like gaming PC build-outs and stuff. I do pretty well with those. I mean, I don't charge much. I get $10 from my marketplace. And it's really not too bad. Better than anything is better than what they're going to give you at the scrapyard, Ooh, that rings of aluminum. So what do you guys think about copper hitting $6 a pound, huh? Tom on the iScrap app says it's going to go higher yet. And I think I mentioned it briefly before, but the iScrap app, he's here on TikTok and YouTube. You want to know about precious metal prices, he's a good one to check. He owns Rockaway Recycling. Scrooge McDuckin says Daniel Craig is his favorite. Mine was, well, my father actually, Sean Connery bore a strong resemblance to my father. I mean, people used to say my dad looked like Sean Connery all the time. What do you think? Could it be the great Sean Connery was my father? No, that's my mom and that's my dad's engagement picture. That would be from like 1950. But everybody said he looked like Sean Connery. Good looking guy. Passed his genes on to his daughter. Yeah, he sure was. He was a good guy, inside and out. I was very lucky to have a good dad. We all learned the ethic of hard work. My brother works hard. I work hard, and all three of their grandchildren, my nieces and nephews, my brother's kids, they all work hard. So definitely the ethics manifested. Okay. What I'll probably do is I'll probably stream live on YouTube because I think it's going to go over the hour. So I'll make sure to load it. This will probably be the last one I do. Yeah, this is going to be another more of the same. I think this was probably a piece of surveillance equipment. Again, I'm not sure enough to say. We got an itty bitty piece of wham. Oh look, we got wham. Haha. We got RAM. Looks like we're going to get a gold finger card. There's probably a battery in there. By the way, guys, don't forget to take the batteries off your boards. This will be a SATA, S-A-T-A, hard drive. Low grade. The high grade ones are the ones with the 48 pins, like the IDE connectors that go onto ribbon wires. Hey Scrooge, how did your duck race go? Welcome, Brutus Uranus. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I could use the likes. Just I've been so bad about being on lately. Not by choice, like I said, just because of all the construction chaos in the house. The problem is I can't even make a video because it's so noisy. They're sawing, they're hammering, they're yelling, and I have no place to do a live. So I just hope I don't upset Southern Scrapper. I don't like going on with somebody else's on, but I had to. I had no choice. I just snuck me little self in there, I did. We got another piece of wham. Wookie wookie. Unlocked club cheers. All fans can now send it to celebrate. I have no idea what that means. Hi, Moira. Hi, Susie Q. Well, dang, I may just keep going here if my voice holds up. Now, come on out of there, you pain in my neck. I'm not going to get down to the basement to get, well, actually, I think I have one or two up here. I'll show you the copper heat sinks that I was talking about in a second. Hello, yeah, it's been a while. Can't wait to get back to my regular Sunday morning live. What are you stuck on? This isn't the greatest example of a gold finger card, but it'll certainly do for illustration purposes. If you can't get rid of them, these gold finger cards are great. Hi, Mike Beach, how are ya? What exactly is this? It's some type of a switch. Because of this very large hard drive, I tend to think it's from surveillance equipment. A lot of these rack-mounted things, they're all looks like, but isn't, because it has to fit on the switch with 20 other ones that are the same size. So sometimes, even though you think it's going to be a switch, it's not. When is a switch not a switch? But again, I don't get them on the rack. I get them all piled up. Look at you, little beastie here. Beastie, beastie, beastie. Moyer has joined my fan club for 200 days. Thank you, Moyer. Moyer does a lot of cool stuff with e-waste and recycling too. My goodness, are we going to be difficult here? Sure we are. You know what it is? I don't have all my tools in the area. So this is an example of a gold finger card. It's not a great example, but it's okay. Most gold finger cards have a little bit more gold coming down them, but if you're looking to get gold recovery, gold finger cards are very good for it. Plenty of chips, not all, but some. It's certainly another place you could look. That has two little pieces of brass on it. I'm actually going to nip that underneath because the spring-loaded stuff will get you right in the eyeballs, and it will hurt. So when you're popping these off, guys, always away from yourself, huh? Especially if you're like me and you got to take your glasses off to see what the heck you're doing. This is a little mini Intel gold-banded BGA. Very good for gold recovery. Got some good ceramic chips. Not a heck of a lot in the way of gold flashing, but again, the gold fingers are certainly very nice. So that's another spot you can get some. Another spot you can get yourself some, huh? Everybody recovered from New Year's? It'll be the quietest New Year's ever. We had an awesome Christmas, house full of kids. My niece hosted, and my nephew has little ones, and my niece's husband has two kids, and it was really nice to be in a house full of kids for Christmas. It's been a while, and it was great. She did a good job. The food was, oh my God, she made so much food. And then New Year's, well then that, of course, again, getting ready to go under construction, so it's been, I've got to pack everything because I've got to move everything when they do the floors. That's just tedious and time consuming. But in the meantime, the day before Christmas Eve, in came the UPS guy with 300 pounds of telecom boards, which I sold, by the way. I sold them all to one buyer. He came Monday and picked them all up. And thank God, because I did very well. Everybody made some money. You know, he's going to make some money. I made some money. And the guy who bought the boards is going to make a fair amount of money too. The guy who sold me the boards really did well with those. But you know, it's just a lot going on. And of course, it's been cold. Oh my God. I don't ever remember being this cold for this long. And I'm born and raised in Connecticut, but it was cold. Today it's 50 out. When you're calling 40 degrees balmy, you know it's been cold. Maybe. Hi Joshua, how are you? By the way, Happy New Year, everybody. I know it's a little bit late, but I haven't seen you guys, so. Yeah, you know, I do think it's some kind of video recording equipment. Maybe a surveillance thing or production server. I don't know. Hard to say unless it actually says on it what it is, you know. But this did have RAM, and it does have a CPU, so let's see what's under here. Even though it's in a, you know, telecom prop, doesn't mean it's a telecom board, so to speak. That's aluminum. Aluminum's holding in pretty well, too. Hi, Neron. I'm watching for my 1 hour verification to pop up. It's been a while since I've done a long video, huh? Did you miss me? I miss you guys. I really do, I'll tell you. I've been doing this, I think. TikTok says I've been on a year. I think it was a year in February that I started on TikTok. I know I started the YouTube channel slightly before because I wanted to do more of an educational video format. And then the kids convinced me that I should really do TikTok. Because it was, I like TikTok's live format a lot better. It's very easy to, you know, hey Chesberg. It's easy to type comments and this and the other thing, and I find YouTube's format very difficult to deal with. Anyway, but I would have said it was a year in February, but, you know, I've just developed so many great working relationships with people who are in our little gold circle. You know, Obi-Wan, Odin, Scrooge McDuckin, Patrick Williams, and Dennis, and Chaz Park, and everybody. Oh, wow. Funny enough, work for an IT security company. We've got a lot of servers that look similar. Huh. So yeah, no, it's nice. You know, we go hang out on each other's channels and enjoy, you know, just enjoy the camaraderie. It's really a nice thing. Here's another place you can get channels and enjoy, you know, just enjoy the camaraderie. It's really a nice thing. Here's another place you can get gold. So there's another place you can get. There's good gold pins under here, something gold plugged into something gold, and in this case, it was this. You can call these PCI riser cards. It's not inaccurate, but they all go with gold fingers. You won't get chips, but you certainly will get good gold and good gold pins. And gold is the best conductor of electricity. I know. You know what? I didn't want to go down and get the whole bucket of tools. I wasn't even going to do this today, so I just grabbed 2 or 3 tools. And servers are super easy to do, but I just got the mess cleaned up, and they're going to start tearing my kitchen apart. So, you know, MacGyver time here. Just grab a couple tools and come up. That's why I want to do servers today, because they're super easy. Hard drives have 1,000,001 fiddly little screws in them, and so on and so forth. So yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. So I think TikTok has been, I think it's been a year, but TikTok says it was a year, a month ago, but I don't think it was. All right. Some yards will make you cut this wire off. I do know that. There's my 1 hour. Hold on a second, guys. I have to verify myself or they're going to put me off. What that means is I won't be able to upload the video back onto TikTok. I'll have to do it on my YouTube channel, which is fine. These are SATA connectors, and a lot of times there's gold in here. So you want to make sure when you're doing your wire, check the connector pins. There's a lot of gold in there. Make sure you nip those off if there's gold in there. I remember if you can see it, there's a lot of gold in here too. Board Sort will buy these by the pound. People who do gold refining love to get those too. Okay. I think we're going to have another integrated motherboard is what I think we're going to have here. Integrated motherboards don't pay a heck of a lot. Sometimes there's gold here. There's some good gold pins here. There's some good gold pins here. These are okay. The ones on the I-Core boards are horrible. There's a lot of brass in them, and quite frankly, they will contaminate your solution. So, I'm not the one to ask for that. How to go about refining gold. Check out Scrooge McDuckin or Hobie One Kenobi, or even Scrapping Irish. There's three right off the bat who are really good. These are very easy to nip, and that's a nice aluminum heatsink. It feels a little heavy. It could be stainless steel. So again, same criteria as before. I don't have a removable CPU. We did get some RAM, and there's a hard drive involved, so this will go as a motherboard. It came out of a telecom piece of equipment, but it's a motherboard. That's an integrated motherboard. They're very low grade. I think they pay the same price as the I-Core boards do. AMI Aptio, American Megatrends, 2006 I think it says, but that's not 2008. Made in China. This is no way that this is a 2008. That might be the copyright date. There's no way this board is from 2008. It's too crappy. Yeah, it's not a 2008 board. There's nice gold in here too, but again, I'm selling this to a board buyer, and they're going to expect certain things to be there. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people who like to gold refine. It is not for me, not at this point in my life. I enjoy watching other people do it. For me, well, number one, my house is under construction. I really don't have the proper safety equipment, but our houses are in very close proximity here, so I wouldn't want to discharge toxic chemicals in the neighborhood. You know, that is not something that you go after if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, definitely check out Scrooge McDuckin's channel. He's really good at it, and so is Hobie One Kenobi. Type in hashtag gold refining, and you'll find a lot of people, and Odin and Friends as well. He's also very good. Yeah, if I was going to refine anything, I probably would send it to one of those fellows and have them do it for me. They have the chemicals, they have the experience. You know, you can get yourself awfully sick using that stuff if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, don't. Scrap and Irish said it very well the other day. If you don't know what you're doing, don't. Just plain old don't. It's toxic, it's dangerous, unless you know what you're doing. Nothing wrong with learning how to do it. I mean, everybody, I'm sure you can learn how. But it's not in the comfort zone. So this is a little bit older than this is the board, the SSD board, did we say it was? That we got out of that little black plastic thingy. Came out of here. This is a SATA board, S-A-T-A. It's got SATA jumping cables here. An IDE connector or a non-SATA would have these gold pins all the way across here. Those are going to premium price right now. I think they're $28.50 a pound. Some people will take the entire hard drive apart. I don't have the time. There is a lot of gold recovery in hard drives, tons of it. But the best gold recovery is still on the board itself. And so what I do, again, this is my, I sell these things by the pallet to other scrappers. Because I don't have the time. I don't want to sit here and fiddle around with hard drives. I know what it is I like doing, and I nice piece of brass in here. There is a neodymium magnet in here. You got to get all these screws off. There'll be a security screw under here. And there is some gold ribbon and a lot of gold pins. There's usually a block of gold pins that are under here. And those I do take because they're very good for gold recovery. I have jars of stuff saved up, and maybe someday I'll do it. But I don't have my Torx screwdriver set up here so that can go down cellar with its friends. Well, absolutely, Scrooge. Absolutely, Scrooge. You got to be careful about it. Watch a few channels. Learn about it a little bit. See if it's something you want to do or want to learn how to do. There's plenty of people who are very willing to show you. There's lots of really great educational tutorials. Support one of our subscribers here and watch their channel. Give them a like. It makes a huge difference for us. Alright guys, as I said, I will repost the video. It's going to have to go on my YouTube channel because, because it went over the hour. TikTok lets you repost it if it's an hour. But really, really good catching up with a lot of you. As I said, if you don't see a lot of me in the next couple of weeks, everything is fine. It's just that with going under construction, or going under destruction, I just don't know. This whole kitchen has got to be pulled out. What happened is my sink back here. That sink overflowed. So it came over the counter, it went under the stove, it went under the washer, it went under the fridge, it went down the hall, took it right into the bathroom, and poured. Absolutely poured into the basement. So we got mold. So I have to replace everything, and the insurance company has not been very helpful, and it's just been a real, but this has been going on since last May. I got the bathroom done last summer. It was great because I could be outside. Tried going 3 months without a bathroom. It was not fun. I was camping in the backyard. So, Well, Chad Spark, what? The worst of it is behind me. And I've been very lucky. Yeah, if you're interested in contacting the creator, just message me. I answer my messages, honest. But I'll be very glad to have it done. It's got to be done because the cabinets got ruined. So they said, we'll just pay for the bottoms. They're not going to match. Well, I'll be glad when it's done. And I've got I put a new patio, not a new patio, but I put a new sunsetter awning in last year, and I'm going to get a small pool. This summer I'm going to freaking party like it's 2026. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Pardon the stupid hat, but my stupid hair is stupid today. There you go. All right, bye, everybody. Thanks for visiting today. It was good to see you all, and hopefully, I'll get something up for you Sunday morning. I'll sure try. Be well, stay wonderful, and thanks for stopping and visiting, everybody. It was great to hear you. Queen Elizabeth, I'm sorry you just joined because I'm heading out. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you get an invitation and know when I'm going live again. I love going live. It's lots of fun. You guys are awesome. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.